Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of Bris Golf Live. I'm your host, Michael Brisbane. I'm a PGA professional and director of instruction at Azalea City Golf Course in Mobile, Alabama. I'd like to welcome everybody today, and I'd like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Special shout out to all my family that's gathered up in my parents' house over in Georgia. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all, and to all my family that's in Texas at my brother's house. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. So in today's episode, we are going to discuss the importance of the backswing. And by the backswing, I mean the pivot. So we're going to talk about the backswing pivot. So let's cue up that intro and let's get started. Okay, so as I said, we're going to talk today about the backswing pivot. And I want to tell you how to achieve a proper backswing pivot. I want to show you how to practice, okay? Now, there's two kind of schools of thought out there. My school of thought is I love to get my students in a really, really good, solid backswing position. I like their pivot to work. I like their arms to be in the proper place. I think it makes the downswing and the rest of the golf swing a whole lot easier. There's the other school of thought that says it doesn't matter what you do in your backswing, that all that matters is what happens through impact. Now, theoretically, that's true. I can't say that's not true because it is true. However, like I said, with my students, I have found that if I can get them in a solid, fundamentally sound backswing position, that it makes the downswing and ball striking so much easier. They become much more consistent. So I've got several videos today that I'm going to show you. I do want to say that the audio in the videos is a little soft. I don't know what happened when I was recording it. So you might have to turn your volume up to hear what's going on there. This is kind of 2.0 edition of the Thanksgiving Bris Golf Live because I did it earlier this morning and I had a problem with one of the videos. Actually, I had the same video twice, and so I actually deleted that one and I decided to do it again. So here's the video out on the driving range of me telling you what the backswing pivot is and how to achieve it.
Let me discuss what we're trying to achieve with our pivot, and especially our backswing pivot. It's what this lesson is really focused on, is what we're trying to achieve with backswing. There's two things. First, I am trying to get my upper body to wind itself up over top of my right leg. I want my lower body to be stable, and I'm getting my upper body to wind itself up over my back leg, creating tension. Okay, that tension is where we're building power, we're storing power, and then I will let that power go on the forward swing. The second thing that I'm trying to achieve in my posture is I am trying to get my left shoulder to wind itself up behind the golf ball. You see here, my left shoulder is behind the ball. Now, I'm winding myself up behind the ball so I can turn back into the ball and then turn through the ball all the way to my left side. Okay? The golf pivot is just like any other sport where we're trying to propel a ball. Okay? We're winding up and throw a ball, we wind up onto our back foot, step forward and throw. If we're kicking, we've got to be behind the ball. I can't be in front of the golf ball or a ball, soccer ball, whatever, and try and kick it when it's behind it. You're going to get no power on the ball. So I've got to get behind the golf ball. So a great thing to do on the range is just in between shots, put your club up across your shoulders. Okay? Get yourself set up in the good posture that we learned in our first video, and get that left shoulder to wind itself up behind the ball, getting your weight over top of your right foot. Okay? Let's achieve that position in the backswing, and it's going to make your golf game a whole lot easier.
Well, that was a whole lot better than this morning. So that's what we're trying to achieve in the backswing pivot, getting our upper body over our right foot, getting our left shoulder behind the golf ball. Now, let's talk about practicing the pivot. I am a huge fan of practicing away from the golf ball when we're trying to develop a new motor skill. Okay. That's all we're trying to do when we're trying to learn this backswing pivot is just develop a new motor skill. It has nothing to do with hitting a ball. So I love to get my students to get in front of a mirror or in front of a window where they can see their reflection and just do repetition after repetition after repetition. So here's a little video of me at home. Notice I don't have a big fancy golf room. I'm just standing in my bedroom in front of a mirror, making correct repetitions. Okay, I'm facing the mirror. I'm getting my left shoulder to turn behind the ball where it needs to be. Now, I know we're just talking backswing pivot in this drill, but I decided that while I was standing there, I'd do a little forward swing pivot too. So I put the mirror over to my left. I'm turning towards the mirror, working on those motions. One correct repetition after another correct repetition. And in practice, that's what we need. We need correct repetitions. Okay, so why do I like being away from the ball? Well, when you stand over the golf ball, people's minds are more on what the ball is doing than what their body is doing, and they just tend to do the same old thing over and over and over again, and they don't improve. If you'll get away from that golf ball and you'll get in front of a mirror, do your repetitions. I mean, you can do 40 or 50 of those things in a matter of minutes. Do it every single day. You're just going to get better faster. That drill there in front of the mirror, I also think that almost everybody should do that drill on a regular basis, whether you're an advanced player or whether you're a beginner. It's just fantastic to stand in front of a mirror and check your positions. Now, let's go back out to the driving range, and I want to show you how I try and get my students to practice with a ball when they're fixing their pivot. And the key words here is let's go slow.
Now let me show you how I want my students to practice their backswing pivot on the driving range. Okay. One of the biggest problems that golfers have when they get to the range is their mind and their focus is too much on the ball and not about what they're doing. If we're trying to change a motor pattern, a motor skill, develop a new skill, however you want to word it, we need to focus on that skill. We don't need to focus on the ball. So I try and get my students to practice at a very slow rate of speed. Even at the beginning, pausing at the top of the backswing. Okay? So, because what I want them to achieve is in every shot that they hit, I want them to make a correct backswing. If we get our mind too focused on the golf ball and we're worried about whether we're hitting a solid shot or that golf ball looks how we want it to look in the air, or that I'm hitting my 8-iron 160 yards or whatever it is that you hit your 8-iron, if that's what your concern is, then you're not going to achieve your backswing position. So let me show you the first step that I like to get them to do. We're going to get set up in our posture, and I like to get them to make a backswing, find their position, and actually hold a little pause. Okay? Once they've found that position and they've held their little pause, then we're going to real easy just go forward and tap one out there. So there's my backswing position. Tap one out there. Lost my balance a little bit on that one. That one wasn't the greatest. Okay? Here we go again. Just going to keep repeating this motion until I can find that golf ball solid. Okay? Getting myself set up. I'll do this one without talking. Notice that on the finish, I'm holding my balance. Okay? Another thing that I try and get them to do, even though I'm not working on the forward swing per se, I do want students to hold the balance. Now, once I get to the point where I'm finding that golf ball solid with that pause, I'll go ahead and not pause. Okay? Now I'll just make one fluid motion, but I'm going to stay the same speed. So nice and smooth, no pause. That one was pretty good. Now, I'm just going to steadily increase my speed with my chest and my pivot going forward, okay, until I am still hitting the ball solid, okay? But my goal remember, what is your goal when you're out here? I am trying to fix my backswing. I'm not trying to hit a solid shot. That last one was real solid. Again, I'm hitting an 8-iron. Went about 100 yards. Okay, it didn't go very far, but I'm not concerned with that.
Okay, well, I hope you could hear that. And just to recap, if you're going to practice this on the driving range, pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to the motion. Don't worry about the golf ball. And if you start hitting the ball poorly at the beginning, just keep making the motion. You'll eventually start finding it solid, and then you will achieve a really nice change. I'd like to thank my sponsor to this show, Marketing by Mary Mike, or Marketing by MM. She's a very talented young lady. She helped me a lot in being able to achieve these live streams. Okay, so I've linked her website in my description down below. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Okay, you'll help me out, and ring the notification bell, and you'll get notified when I'm going to go live next. Okay, I plan on doing these weekly. So I want to thank you for coming and sitting in with me. There will obviously be a video in my channel after I edit it just a little bit, and you can always watch this whenever you want to. So I want to finish up this show with a thought that was sent to me this morning in a text message, and it said this: that today is the only day where turkeys are better than birdies. So y'all have a great day.